Let me preface this that yes, we will talk about the big cool down that is on the way, but we're going to talk about a few things that will happen between now and then we'll get into the details as far as that is concerned. But for right now, it's clear this is kind of the calm before the storm. We will see increasing clouds today, though. We have a system moving in. It'll bring some rain, not a whole lot, but tomorrow's going to be cloudy and dreary and cool and just kind of gross as far as most things are concerned. Today, though, it's going to be decent. We're going to be right around 51 and 52 degrees across the area tonight. We won't get too cold. It'll be chilly, 40 degrees, 39 degrees, that area. So upper 30s, low 40s across the area tonight. And we do have this system coming in. You look at the water vapor. This is the system that's moving in, got plenty of moisture with that. And most of this, though, will be to our south. So south and east of us will be most of that activity, but in Ellis County proper, we could see a few drops of rain. This is kind of what we're looking at. So this is the rain chances tonight. All of this area really looking at about a 20 to 30% chance of showers. Really not looking at anything beyond that. No thunder or anything like that. Just showers, light rain across the area. Light rain, mist, just kind of dreary stuff. Tomorrow looks like it could be a little bit more concentrated, and honestly, we're probably looking at about a 10 to 20% chance outside of this little bubble here. I think we're looking at 20 to 30% chance here, 30 to 40 as you get from about Hillsborough and Corsicana on south. So those are the areas you could have a cloud of thunder or two, but it looks like for the most part, anywhere outside of this, we're talking 10 to 20% chance, very, very low. But the further south you get, the better chance you have of getting a few rain showers overnight. Let's talk about this big cold front. This is Thursday, and I'm going to run you through what a couple of the models are thinking in terms of timing and also how big the drop in temperature is going to be in kind of a short period of time. So obviously, here is the front. It's very, very clear. This is the latest run of the European model. This is looking at 9 a.m. Thursday. So this model thinks that we will see the front come in the morning hours, and if that's the case, our daytime high will be lower because we'll be dropping temperatures throughout the day. So in this scenario, we bring the front in the morning hours. Our high is probably somewhere in the 30s, and then the GFS model has it coming in right around 3 o'clock on Thursday. So there are different theories here, and as we get closer, we'll refine the timing a little bit, but I would say really any time between noon and 3, or rather 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., could be right around lunchtime when it all is said and done. That seems to be kind of the median between the two, but either way, we'll have a better consensus when we get closer to Thursday. It's Sunday now, so we've got plenty of time for this to change. But what I want to point out is that there is a huge difference between the temperatures here, and I know the 5 is kind of hard to tell there. So behind the front, we have highs temperatures in the 20s, and ahead of it in the 50s, even 60s down in San Antonio and Austin area. So it's very conceivable that as the front is moving through, we could see temperatures in Corsicana in the low to mid 50s while we're in the 20s in Stephenville. I mean, just a short distance there with a big, big change in temperatures. So we bring the front in, and it's going to have a big impact as soon as it arrives. I hope to be outside to experience that. I'll have the thermometer out there and everything, and we'll check the temperature drop as we go. But man, it's just going to be a big, big, big change. What's less certain at this point is whether or not we're going to have precipitation. Leading up to this point, we've made it clear that it was going to be a very dry front. And it is true that there is very dry air pulling in behind that front. What's less certain at this point, though, is whether or not precipitation could actually develop ahead of that front. And when that happens, there's a couple of possibilities. You could have just straight rain in the warm sector here. If that happens, then what's going to happen is it's going to cool down and get cold so fast, it's going to freeze, right? It's just going to be very, very quickly freezing. The ground cools down slower, but it's just, we're going to get cold enough, fast enough, that it's pretty much not going to stand much chance of drying up. It'll evaporate a little bit with all this dry air here, but we could see some issues. At this point, I'll say that nothing suggests a lot of precipitation. Could just be a little bit along the front, but any precipitation can cause problems. If the front overruns the precipitation and we actually get the cool air here, it's conceivable that the dry air would dry it up pretty quickly, but for a short time, we could see some sleet, snow, that kind of thing. But again, it's very uncertain whether we will even see any of that to begin with. So take that with a grain of salt and understand that I am monitoring the forecast to see what we think in terms of, whether or not we could see this precipitation happen. As I've mentioned many times through Ellis County weather, you're talking about winter precipitation. That can be uncertain hours ahead of time. Going out several days is an eternity. We're talking 4 days ahead. So just understand that we're still monitoring this, and really the only thing that's changed is that we're not certain now that it's going to be without precipitation, but there's still plenty of uncertainty in regard to that. So we will continue to monitor this to A, figure out the timing. As that gets closer, we'll get a better idea, and B, figure out if we could actually see some precipitation with this front as it moves through. Stay tuned as we get more information on that. The 5 Ps, regardless of what happens, regardless of what time the front comes in, we're going to need to remember these things as that front comes through. People, if there's anyone you know that is vulnerable to the cold weather, whether they are stuck outside and don't have a home, if they have a home that is not sufficiently heated and not sufficiently insulated, they can't get warm, then those people we need to at least check on, if not find maybe alternate arrangements for. Plants, you want to make sure that any plants that are vulnerable to freezing, and it's going to be cold enough that it's probably going to be just about all of them, any plants you want to save, make sure you're bringing them in or covering them up. Whatever the protocol is for you, you want to do those things. Your pets, if you have outdoor pets you can bring inside, definitely do that. I've got a room where my outside dog that really isn't great in the rest of the house, she can come in and it's a room that warms very, very well. So she will have it made in that little space in there. But we've got a cat also that really can't come in. We really can't afford for him to come inside. But we are going to make him a little shelter out there. They'll be out of the wind, out of the precipitation, plenty warm so that he will have a better situation as well. Pools have plenty of protocols that need to be followed there. So if you do have a pool, make sure that you're following those. And then your pipes, make sure you're dripping those outdoor spigots, really your indoor spigots too, faucets, that kind of thing, and then any other precautions you need to take in your particular home, because every house is different. Make sure you do those things as well. Let's put this all together in the forecast here. Today, going to be sunny. It's mostly sunny right now. We do have the clouds increasing throughout the day, and then tonight we will have a 30% chance of rain. 51 for the high, 40 for the low. We don't warm up very much tomorrow. 40% chance of rain. Again, most of that is south of us, but we could see some light showers here in Ellis County, southeast wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's going to be cloudy. We're really not going to see any sun. We could see some sun late in the day, maybe, but for the most part, we stay cool. We don't cool down much, though, because whatever daytime heating we get, we'll have enough cloud cover, we're going to retain that heating. So we should stay right around 40 degrees or so, maybe the upper 30s, if we can clear out some of the clouds and lift away some of that heating. Tuesday, 49 degrees. We got a weak cold front coming in, so we'll have some clouds. Temperatures don't get too far beyond, rather, what they were overnight. 49, 50 degrees there. Overnight lows are cooler in the upper 30s. Wednesday, cloudy, 48 degrees. We kind of just stay there. And then Thursday, everything breaks loose. Thursday, the front comes in. Again, we're still not sure on the timing of that. I have a high of 40 degrees. It could be lower if the front comes in earlier in the day. South winds will be breezy, and the north winds will be howling. We're talking 10, 20 miles per hour, 25, 30 miles an hour for those gusts at least. Could be more than that. That front is going to come in, and it is going to make a statement as it does. Overnight lows, Thursday night, Friday morning, we're talking low teens. I have 12 degrees on here. I felt ridiculous typing it. I feel ridiculous saying it, but it's what we expect across the area. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies. All of that, any kind of heating we get at all is just going to lift away. It's going to be gone. Looking at mid-20s, we could get upper 20s in some places if we can heat up that with that sunlight enough. Northwest winds, though, 5 to 15 miles per hour. We're still breezy, so we're still looking at wind chills, probably in the teens, possibly the single digits that day. Friday night into Saturday morning, another teens night. Lows in the teens, looking mid to upper teens there. Saturday afternoon, we should get above freezing for the first time, at least most of us. Saturday night looks like we could drop into the upper teens, low 20s. And then Christmas Day looks like we warm up at least into the 40s or so. So looks like Christmas Day is a little bit warmer and should give us some relief as we go to celebrate with folks. But some of those Christmas Eve night celebrations and those festivities and kind of things, make sure you are dressed very, very warm because the overnight wind chills could be below zero overnight, Friday night and Saturday night. So just keep that in mind. We have a big, big cool down coming in. We have plenty of warmer temperatures ahead of it, though. Plenty of time to get all of this prepared and everything done. Don't wait. Do not wait until Wednesday night, Thursday morning to get these things ready. We have plenty of time here. It's going to be relatively warm. The time is now to start getting prepared to get the supplies that you need. Everybody's going to be talking about whether or not the electricity is going to go out. I would say don't clear the shelves of everything imaginable. Let's not have a toilet paper issue again. That was simply madness. I would say get some meat to cook. And, if you don't have a grill yourself, find someone with a grill. Or if you don't have a grill that's powered by charcoal or gas or something that's not electricity, we're going to see 95% of the state below freezing for at least one, maybe 2 nights as this event comes through. So it's conceivable that we could have some issues with the power. This isn't going to be the long, drawn-out issue. Remember, we'll be above freezing possibly Saturday for sure on Sunday. So we're not looking at a long, drawn-out event, but just make sure that you are prepared for this cold air event to move in. We got plenty of time ahead of time to do that. So think ahead, prepare ahead, and be ready for a big, big cool down later this week. More details coming up on that as we get closer and the forecast becomes more refined.